You may go along to a lunch club and join 30 or 40 other people, all having a nutritious hot meal, and you might bring a thought for the day, say, at the end of the meal when everyone's having a cup of tea or coffee, and just bring God's word to that group of people. But remember that Anna Chaplains are not just there for the religious. They're there for people of strong faith, yes, but for people of little faith or no faith at all. They may visit people one-to-one in care homes, knock on the door of somebody in a single room in a care home and just have a chat. Or they may lead a Messy Vintage session. Messy Vintage is Messy Church specifically for older people, and it centres, as Messy Church does, around a craft activity, but it's worship not quite as we know it, because it's less formal, less wordy, built around some sort of practical activities so that people at the end of the service can take away something that they've made, they can put it in their room or in their home, and that might be a lovely talking point for friends and relatives who are visiting. And there's a gathering up of all the thoughts, all the disparate chats and thoughts that people have had at the end of the service in the prayers. And then there's a sending out in that sense that we're all loved and valued and cherished. And a final prayer, and often the Lord's Prayer, which even for those whose cognitive abilities are not brilliant, often that's a little spark of recognition, and people who've been quiet for much of the time will suddenly start to mouth the words of the Lord's Prayer, and that's a wonderful moment when you realise that you're making a connection, even with someone who may be deep in their dementia and not very communicative. We're finding that Messy Vintage is a wonderful way of connecting people right across the spectrum of intellectual and cognitive ability.